Hello everyone, good morning. Welcome to Testbook Super Coaching Regulatory Bodies channel. So we are back with our second session on descriptive writing through newspaper articles for RBI Grade B and NABARD Grade A. This is the second lecture of this series. The first lecture happened yesterday at 10 o'clock. If you did not watch that session, I highly request you to go and watch that session as well. And today we are going to continue our discussion on the topics that we discussed in the last lecture. Alright, so those who are new to our channel, please subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon as well so that you will get notified from time to time regarding all our lectures. So let's begin the session today. First and foremost, we are going to discuss the topic of the essay. And as you can see, the topic of the essay is India's growth story and economic resilience. And in the last lecture, as we discussed, there could be an essay based on post-pandemic recovery, India's economic growth, and how India is positioning itself as a global economic power might be some of the relevant topics, especially with a focus on sectors like manufacturing, services, and exports. So this was our topic of discussion, and I gave you five topics, five potential topics for your essay writing in the upcoming RBI Grade B exam. And this is the second topic of that list. The first topic was regarding the cryptocurrencies and the digital currencies. We discussed that in the last lecture. Today we are going to talk about this particular topic, India's growth story and economic resilience. Now for reference today, we have some screenshots of the pages from the Economic Survey of India. What you are seeing right now on your screens, I'll just close my video profile so that you guys will be able to read the entire thing. Now you can take the screenshots of all these slides, or you can read alongside me. Actually, if you look at this entire document, it is a very lengthy document of around 50-60 pages. From those, I have just shortlisted some of the articles, some of the pages, some of the paragraphs which are important for us as a reading material for this particular topic. Okay, so the Indian economy has remained robust and stable, demonstrating resilience in the face of geopolitical challenges, according to the Economic Survey 2023-24, represented by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in Parliament. The 476-page economic survey highlights India's solidified post-COVID recovery and notes the critical role of policymakers in ensuring economic and financial stability amidst global volatility. Okay, so these are certain points from the economic survey that we have to read. So given the challenging global environment, the survey emphasized, basically this is a crux of the economic survey that you guys can read. I will mention the link in the description as well, you guys can check it out. The necessity of substantial domestic efforts to sustain recovery. Okay, it reads that for the recovery to be sustained, there has to be heavy lifting in the domestic front. So economic survey talks about heavy lifting in the domestic front because the environment has become challenging to reach agreements on key global issues such as trade, investment, and climate. Public investment has been crucial in sustaining capital formation, with the private sector beginning to invest significantly since financial year 2022. The survey also states that public investment has sustained capital formation in the last several years, even as the private sector shed its balance sheet blues. To shed your balance sheet blues. Balance sheet blues का मतलब क्या होता है? Basically, blues of any kind means nervousness. है ना, एक प्रकार से टेंशन हो, नर्वसनेस हो. तो यहाँ पर as you can see, you get to know different words, you get to know different vocabulary, and that also somewhere helps you with your answer writing skills. And began investing in 2022 financial year. It must receive the public sector baton and sustain the economic investment momentum. The signs are encouraging. This is what the economic survey says. Okay. Going ahead, if you read the document again in detail, the national income data shows vigorous expansion in non-financial private sector capital formation after a decline in 21. Financial year 21 mein there was a decline, but definitely in financial year 22 and 23 there has been some expansion in the non-financial private sector capital formation. Despite a decrease in investment in machinery and equipment during the 20 and 21 financial years, there was a strong rebound. Early corporate sector data suggests that capital formation in the private sector continued to expand, albeit at a slower rate. Albeit का मतलब होता है भले ही, even if, है ना, even though at a slower rate, भले ही slower rate पे क्यों ना हो रहा हो, लेकिन expansion हुआ था, इस सेंस में ये लिखा हुआ है. So again, focus on the new words, focus on the vocabulary that you find difficult or you find something new, and that will also be helpful. According to the April World Economic Outlook, global economic growth has been 3.2% in 2023. Diverging growth patterns have emerged among countries primarily due to domestic structural issues, uneven exposure to geopolitical conflicts, and the impact of monetary policy tightening. These are certain points that are mentioned in the economic survey as well. So be very alert while noting down these points, because these points are going to be your guidelines for writing an essay on this particular topic. India's economy carried forward this momentum that was built in 23 into 24, with the real GDP growing by 8.2% in financial year 2024, exceeding 8% in 3 out of the 4 quarters of financial year 2024. Now, Economic Survey of India का जो document होता है, it is more of a data oriented document. There are a lot of numbers, there are a lot of percentages. However, we are not going to focus primarily on the percentages, but the crux of the matter, the crux of the entire paragraph. And if you are able to read between the lines, then you will get to know what exactly is this passage talking about. Now, after reading this entire paragraph, we are also going to have a look at another 2 or 3 slides before looking at the crux of this entire passage, which is very helpful for you guys. So anyway, let's continue our discussion. The thrust on capex and sustained momentum in private investment have boosted capital formation growth. Gross fixed capital formation increased by 9% in real terms. Healthy corporate and bank balance sheets will further strengthen private investment. Positive residential real estate market trends indicate a significant increase in household sector. So again, we have a point to add in our essay, that we can talk about how real estate market is functioning. Okay, capital formation increase हुआ है. Administrative and monetary policy response have deftly managed inflationary pressures from global troubles, supply chain disruptions, and monsoon variability. So again, you get a point to write. See, what are the factors that can put pressure on the economy? Monsoon variability is one factor, supply chain disruption another factor, global troubles another factor. So these are three very important points that you can note down as pointers to be added in your essay. Consequently, retail inflation, after averaging 6.7% in financial year 23, declined to 5.4% in financial year 24. The general government's fiscal balances have improved progressively despite expansionary public investment. Again, you can see tax compliance gains driven by procedural reforms, expenditure restraints, and increasing digitization have helped India achieve this balance. Subdued global demand for goods has pressured the external balance. So these slides here, as you can read here, as we are reading it, these are all the excerpts from, these are all the highlights or the paragraphs from the Economic Survey of India, है ना. तो ये बहुत ज़रूरी है ये सारी चीज़ें पढ़ना, as it gives you a depth in your understanding, it gives you so much understanding of this particular topic. Okay, so as you can see, there are pointers as well. Inflation moderated in 2024. During the financial year 2022 and 23, COVID pandemic, geopolitical tensions, supply disruptions contributed to rising inflationary pressures, and consumer goods and services faced price hike due to international conflicts and adverse weather conditions impacting food costs. However, in 2024, central government's timely policy interventions and the RBI's price stability measures have maintained retail inflation. See, यहाँ पर आप RBI के प्राइस स्टेबिलिटी मेजर्स के बारे में बात कर सकते हैं, एंड सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट के कुछ टाइमली पॉलिसी इंटरवेंशंस के बारे में बात कर सकते हैं, which helped in maintaining the retail inflation at 5%, right? Core consumer durables inflation, उसके बारे में बात कर सकते हैं. Also, we can talk about how RBI raised the repo rate by 250 basis points from May 2022 in response to this inflationary pressure. So what exactly was done by RBI, you can mention in one or two sentences in your essay. That will be a very important point. Core inflation, this policy action reduced the core inflation by approximately 4% point between April 22 and June 24. So as you can see, this is again a point which you can use not just in this particular essay, but in any other essay which talks about how RBI is responsible, or how RBI functions in a way to control inflation in the country. So you can give these examples to justify your statements. Then food inflation also is being talked about, has been a significant issue globally over the past 2 years. India's agriculture sector faced extreme weather events, depleted reservoirs, crop damage. So you can talk about agriculture as well. If at all there is an essay asked on the agriculture or the present scenario of agriculture and monsoon, right, and all those things. So you can definitely add these points. See, this reading of the Economic Survey of India is not specifically related to any particular topic. We are reading it for this essay only because we get a lot of points, a lot of very important points. However, in this reading, you will also find some very interesting insights for topics other than the one that we are discussing, है ना. बाकी सारे और topics भी हैं, उनके बारे में भी हम यहाँ पर लिख सकते हैं. Then the other heading is inflation moderated in the current financial year. So this is something that was mentioned. We saw it in the last slide as well. Then we talk about higher inflation in states correlated with a wider rural to urban inflation gap. So whenever there is an essay related to urban to rural gap, or state related issues, then you can add these points. In financial year 24, most states and union territories witnessed decreased inflation rates, with 29 out of 36 recording rates below 6%, aligning with the overall decline in the all India average retail inflation compared to 23 financial year. States with elevated food price tend to experience higher rural inflation due to greater weightage of food items in the rural consumption market. Furthermore, interstate variation in inflation is more pronounced in rural areas than in the urban areas. Banking and finance sector performance can also be a part of your analysis. So in India's banking and financial sector showcased a strong performance with broad based and double digit banking credit growth. Gross and net non performing assets reached multi years low, है ना. In the last lecture, if you saw our lecture on the descriptive writing last night, uh, Madhav sir also discussed a question on NPAs and how NPAs basically उसका जो influence है या importance है वो कैसे reduce हो रहा है, something related to NPAs and their multi-years lows, reflecting the government's commitment to a stable banking sector. Capital formation, another primary capital market facilitated capital formation 10 lakh crore in financial year 2024. So this is again a data that can be used in your essays to justify your statements. So these are the parameters on which you can talk how India's growth story of economic resilience can be looked at. So banking and financial sector performance, you can also talk about capital formation, you can talk about stock market performance, you can talk about rural to urban inflation gap, right? These are some pointers. You can also add financial inclusion strategy, because financial inclusion you can see everywhere. It is a very widely discussed topic. Target based approach, market development, infrastructure strengthening, innovation, technology, last mile delivery. These words are very important. If you add these words in your essay becomes a wonderful essay to read. It looks like you have covered each and every point in detail. Consumer protection, financial literacy, everything has been talked about. You can also talk about RuPay cards and UPI, which are promoting digital payments. Then you can talk about what are the short term outlooks and what are the long term outlooks. So RBI projects inflation to fall in 25 and 4.5% in 25 and 4.1% in 26, assuming a normal monsoon and no external or policy shocks. Okay. And the long-term outlook, achieving long-term price stability requires clear forward-looking vision, assessing process in developing Modern storage and processing facilities for fruits and vegetables, crucial in managing seasonal price hikes, right? Something price monitoring mechanisms, strengthening price monitoring mechanisms, market intelligence, and focused efforts to increase domestic production of essential food items like pulses and edible oils, which India heavily imports. These are some solutions that you can give related to agriculture कि कैसे एसेंशियल फूड आइटम्स लाइक पल्सेस एंड एडिबल ऑयल्स का डोमेस्टिक प्रोडक्शन को इंक्रीज करना है बिकॉज these are certain things that we still import on a big large scale. Then there are also strengthening price monitoring mechanisms should also be mentioned. We also have to talk about market intelligence and focused efforts on this particular issue. So this can be a point related to any essay which is asked on the agriculture part of the economy. Then we can also talk about external sector with stability amid plenty. We can also talk about medium term outlook, a growth strategy for new India. These are all concepts, these are all sentences from the economic survey of India. ESI अगर आपने ध्यान से पढ़ा है तो आप इन सारे पॉइंटर्स को ध्यान में रख सकते हो, है ना. You can pay attention and you can definitely get help from all these things. So as I said in the beginning of the session, you can take the screenshots of these slides or I will send you the PDF on my Telegram channel. You can go through all these paragraphs and this is actually a very lengthy document. More than 40-50 pages long document is actually there, but it is impossible to cover each and every page in this particular session. So I will also provide you the link in the description. You can check out that document. You can go through that document and make pointers, make notes for your ideal essays. Now, whatever we read or whatever you guys will read in this entire document of the Economic Survey of India, these are certain pointers which you can write as a crux of this particular topic. The topic of our discussion for today's essay was India's growth story and economic resilience. And these are the pointers, the crux of this particular essay, which you can note down as pointers for your essay writing. So the first pointer is robust growth amid global challenges. India has shown remarkable resilience, maintaining a strong GDP of around 6.5 to 7% despite global economic headwinds such as inflation and geopolitical tensions. Indian economy remains the fastest growing major economy, supported by rising services exports, robust foreign investments, and resilient macroeconomic fundamentals. These are the three very essential points which talk about our robust growth story. Sectoral contributions, key growth drivers include IT exports, manufacturing, and a surge in domestic consumption. Efforts like the PLI, that is production linked incentive schemes, are also fostering industrial growth, while public capex, capital expenditure जो है वो boosts infrastructure development. So basically यहाँ पर ये सेकेंड पॉइंट आपका क्रक्स बन जाता है ना. सेक्टोरल कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशंस, यू कैन ऑल्सो टॉक अबाउट एग्रीकल्चर सेक्टर, यू कैन टॉक अबाउट सर्विस सेक्टर, यू कैन टॉक अबाउट आईटी, यू कैन टॉक अबाउट अदर थिंग्स. Then we talk about the resilience in the external sector. India's current account deficit has narrowed, exports have diversified, and foreign exchange reserves are robust. These factors contribute to India's external sector stability. And the last point of discussion is challenges and future outlook. Although India faces inflationary pressures and global protectionism, medium term prospects remain strong and continued structural reforms focus on areas like climate change, energy transition, and inclusive growth. So these are the crux points which you can jot down or note down by reading this entire document of the economic survey. Okay, now I request all of you to go on the descriptive portal on the Testbook website. The descriptive portal is going to be open free for all of you, open till Monday, that is tomorrow 9 o'clock in the morning. So today you have the entire day, tomorrow till 9 o'clock you can go on the descriptive portal. It is a very amazing opportunity for all of you to check out your writing skills, descriptive skills, and in on that portal we also evaluate your answers, be it your English essays, be it your financial management or your ESI questions. Everything is evaluated and we give you a detailed report to you within 72 hours regarding your strengths, your weaknesses, where did you go wrong, what can you improve, everything can be studied in detail. Everything is available to you in detail. So the link is in the description below. Go to our Testbook Super Coaching page and you can definitely check it out. Also, I would highly recommend and request all of you, those who are preparing for RBI Grade B next year, you can join our Laksh batch. So this batch has already begun. The English sessions will start from 6th of October, and this batch is for all those who are preparing for RBI Grade B next year, 2025. Okay, the link to this batch is also there in the description box. You can check out this batch as well. This descriptive portal will be available in the Laksh batch for all of you. Those who enroll in the Laksh batch, you will definitely be get this entire access to this descriptive portal. Okay, so do go and check out and let us know. This is my Telegram group as well. Okay, before while entering or while subscribing to the Lux batch, you can also use my coupon code KAUSTUBH Kaustubh. This is my coupon code KAUSTUBH. Okay, so you can use this code for maximum discount. This is my Telegram group. You can also join me by scanning this QR code. You will get all the PDFs and YouTube classes links here. सो दैट इज ऑल फॉर टुडे. आज के लिए इतना ही. वी विल मीट अगेन नेक्स्ट सैटरडे सुबह 10 बजे. ऐसे ही एक और सेशन में मुलाकात होगी वेयर वी विल डिस्कस सम अदर टॉपिक एंड सम अदर articles from newspapers, some screenshots from other newspapers, and how you can use those articles to write an effective essay. Okay, so that is all for today from my side. Thank you so much all of you for joining and watching this session. Please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel. Okay, till then, take care guys. Bye bye, have a good day.